Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I confused you yesterday about the meetup, apologies. The meetup will be tomorrow, that's Sunday, and I will be announcing the location right before the end of this video, so stay tuned. Also, you will find the location of the place and the time in the pinned comment sections, so you will see it right away when you scroll down under this video, and in my stories on Instagram as well. Today, I don't have too much info for you, but I want to elaborate a little bit more on this relationship again between Poland and Ukraine, because, as you know, Morawiecki, Polish Prime Minister, often called Pinocchio, due to not telling the truth, Morawiecki addressed Zelensky saying, "Poles will not allow this. I want to tell President Zelensky to never insult Poles again." Those words were spoken during the meeting with residents of Świdnik. So as you know, Law and Justice and other parties are already campaigning for the election to the parliament. Any party that gets into parliament will remain there for 4 years. So they are already campaigning, and there was a meeting during which Morawiecki said those words as if warning Zelensky, right? And I will read you the article that I found on wprost.pl that talks about it, and then I will tell you a few words from Duda, Polish president, often called Dugopis. The reason is because he signs everything they bring to him, every single law, changing the reality of Polish citizens. The article goes, there are echoes of the words of the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's speech at the United Nations General Assembly, where he criticized countries blocking imports of Ukrainian grain. Was referred to on Friday by the head of the Polish government. The Prime Minister, Morawiecki, recalled the scale of aid that Poland has been providing to Ukraine since the first day of a full-scale Russian invasion. This is now wording quoting Morawiecki. I also want to tell President Zelensky never to insult Poles again. As recently during his speech in the United Nations, as he did. Poles will never allow it, assured Morawiecki. Okay, I will tell you my comment later, because I went to, I found that video with this recording, and I watched his body language, his face expression of course as well, while he was saying those words, because the words alone is not enough. If there is some possibility for any of us to witness their body language and their face expression, that's something that gives you definitely more insight as you are reading their energy, because, you know, people say many things, but they often don't mean it. So, where I was here, the Prime Minister recalled the scale of aid that Poland has been providing to Ukraine since the first day of a full-scale Russian invasion, and continuing his words, I also want to tell President Zelensky never to insult Poles again. As recently during his speech in the United Nations, oh sorry guys, I repeated this, my mistake, I'm sorry. Okay, so the Prime Minister added that defending the Polish good name is not only his duty and honor, but also the most important task of the government of the Republic of Poland. And quoting him, we will defend all our arguments in the current geopolitical context, and we know this should be shaped, and we know new should be shaped. So new context should be shaped, he stressed. The words of the Ukrainian leader are widely commented. Minsk also used this to insinuate in a propaganda way that the US wanted to remove Zelensky from office. This is from Polish portal, okay? So I'm just reading it. The president of Ukraine himself, according to Freedom TV, when asked about Polish-Ukrainian relations, pointed out that, well, painted too, you know, we had one painted already, painted out, they are quite similar, painted out that Ukraine has chosen the legal path. There is no need to make a political concert. In turn, Andrzej Duda, Polish president, said in an interview for Polish station TVN24, TVN24 on Tuesday that he was sorry at this point. Of course, because I thought it was unfair what Zelensky said. However, the more time passes, these emotions also fall in me, because I have them just like any human being. That's what Duda said. I have to change the place, guys, because this is like really hot. 32 I think Celsius today. A little bit more in the shadow. We will move. Long story short, Morawiecki is campaigning, said few words in that speech, in that city where he's campaigning. And those words, when you watch, maybe I should attach the video, you know, when I will download this one, I will find again that video in which Morawiecki is saying this to Zelensky, because he paused, he hesitated, and then he went for it. And then it was this moment when he knew he had to continue saying those things, standing firm, because the reaction of the audience, now mind you, I want to just emphasize on this, the reaction of the audience, okay? Big group of those people who are coming to those gatherings are brought to those gatherings. This is not genuine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm just recording the video. I don't need anything. Thank you. People coming here, so maybe I should move. Anyway, so the long story short, they are focusing on the voters now. Majority of those people who came to those campaign meetings, right? They are arranged. They actually bring people in buses, which you might probably don't know. They used to do this a lot with Law and Justice. And you know, they are clapping their hands and they are just like, yes, Law and Justice the best, etc. Nevertheless, okay, so there is this group of people, okay, but some of those, most of those actually are paid. Where the Soros money goes, I mean, we all know, right? I don't have to tell you this. But there is still an electorate, there is still a group of people that might be on the fence or not sure, uncertain about where, if they go to vote, their vote should go. Should it go to one evil or another evil? So most of the time they choose the lesser evil, and that's how the psychological game operates. So you see, him making such a bold statements now is absolutely a move to win that, maybe not that big, but still significant enough part of voters, and convince them with this boldness to vote for peace, law and justice. And here, another thing with Morawiecki and Zelensky, when I was watching their meetings when Zelensky was in Poland, they were actually standing at the front of the military equipment, maybe some of you remember, at the front of tanks that Poland was about to provide, I think. I'm not sure if those were the exact things to Ukraine. You could feel, I don't know, I felt, because I feel a lot of things. I'm a very intuitive person, you know. Like, things are just coming. I see sometimes things that people like try to hide, but I just get those downloads, and you know, like God gives me hints. But I was watching those two standing, and I could see this content, this level of not really liking to be in each other's presence and trying to put good face there. Definitely Morawiecki doesn't like Zelensky. It's no doubt. Even it was hard for him to act in a way that he supports, because Morawiecki has a problem. I've noticed this, and this I know you're like, why is she talking about this stuff? Because you can read them very easily, you know, you can read them even if they are paid actors. I mean, they are all paid, right? And they are all acting, but I'm talking like professional actors, you can read them. And especially with Morawiecki, he has big problem like trying to hide his expression with his eyes. He's not good at it, he's just not good at it. So, these are my thoughts. Yeah, so the saga, it's like telenovela from Venezuela. Maybe I should start my next video. Previously, you remember like those telenovelas we had from Brazil, like Brazil, Venezuela, it was never ending, like 300 films, 400, 500, my goodness, and people were so addicted to it, like every Sunday gathering at the front of TV and watching. Meanwhile, they were all being played. So yeah, that's what's happening, guys. I had one more article here. So one more time, I just want to say from me, my personal opinion. Something's gonna escalate, okay? This is all staged. I feel it very strongly. Nothing, like I said, nothing in October, so it's, you know, because it's election. It cannot be like the next day after the election, not like 16 or 17. But November is the month, I think. I feel like November, something maybe in the middle of November. Now from TASS, if we are talking about relationships between the countries, from today, from September 23rd, and actually, let me see. Oh yeah, I am right next to the place where is the meetup tomorrow. So I will show you after this news. Moscow maintain informal communication with unfriendly countries. So here is article that talks about that in spite of the countries being unfriendly towards Russia, how Russia is dealing with those kind of countries. And Russian permanent representative to the United Nations, Vasily Nebiezhnya, I'm sorry if I mispronounced, to all my Russian viewers, Nebenezia, I believe, told reporters that they are still trying to maintain informal communication. He pointed out that it concerns life, various affairs and politics, that communication. It is impossible to cut off the communication because of the security of the UN Security Council, and that is about never-ending process that does not involve only council meetings but also decision making actively. So they from what I understand from his words, is there is some form of agreement or it's not a law, but maybe it's a law, that the country is not only supposed to meet at the UN Council and physically do it, but also besides that they have to have some form of communication going on. And he says that he emphasized that some countries in Europe followed Brussels' orders not to maintain relations with Russia. However, these are words from this gentleman. However, more reasonable people among our European colleagues ignore all of that. That's what this diplomat concluded, which means that I believe even if the country, the main approach to Russia is unfriendly, there are still people in that country, maybe, you know, maybe even in Poland, that still have more sense of you know, common sense, and they're more reasonable, they are more understanding, more normal, and they still are willing to communicate with Russia, even though their country is perceived as unfriendly. That was just made me think. I wonder, in the diplomatic department of Poland, are there any people who are actually seeing the truth and are you know, really burdened with this, but they still work there, and it must be hard for those people too, guys, you know. It's their job, but it's not aligning with their values, what they stand for. But what I'm gonna do, let me just see right here, I will show you the place where we're gonna meet tomorrow, because this is it for today. Right behind me, I think you see it's Cafe Nero, right there. So we're gonna meet here. I will attach the link in the pinned comment section. You know, I feel like 5 p.m. is a good time. 5 is a good number, and it won't be this hot. So let's meet here for coffee, guys. It's next to Burger King. So those of you who are here or who would like to meet in person and just, you know, discuss what's going on, maybe share your life experiences, your opinions about things, it would be nice to meet you. 5 p.m. tomorrow, Sunday. And I leave you with this. Goodbye, everyone. All the links to find me are down below this video, to locals, to Instagram, and to my mailing list, every other link. Also the articles you will find there as well. Have a wonderful Sunday, lots of love, and remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. Bye, guys.